A very good morning to all my BC final year students. Let us commence with your subject of COS, that is Computer Oriented Accounting System. Now in the previous few classes we were discussing about the accounting equation and various transactions which are related to accounting equation. We did solve a number of 3 problems together and we will continuously or probably do 2 more problems to make you guys understand very firmly and very concentrately the problems to be solved in your accounting equation. So we discussed different transactions and different problems, and this particular problem have multiple transactions, means there are twofold effect in single transaction. There is twofold effect in a single transactions. So let us commence with your this problem. I have already written the questions because so that it can be convenient for you and for me and for the video itself. So let us commence with this part. So as we know, there is a particular proforma, or we can say a specimen of accounting equation. So let us draw the specimen of accounting equation. So first part we will divide into transactions. Then we have, the first part we will be dividing into transaction part, then we have the asset part, then we have the capital and the liability part. So we will label the table, that is transaction, asset is equal to capital plus liability. So this is the proforma or specimen of accounting equation. So coming to your first transaction, Sonia started a business with cash rupees 40,000, stock rupees 30,000 and machinery 60,000. So here we have multiple transaction in a single single transaction. Multiple things are going on in a single transaction. So we already solved one problem, that is two different transactions, two different parts of transactions, that was cash balance as well as bank balance. But here it is a separate part, and we all know that cash is a current asset, stock is also a current asset, and machinery is the fixed asset. So how we are going to present this first transaction, let us see. So we'll write number 1 here. Started a business with cash, stock and machinery. So we'll write cash plus stock plus machinery. Simply we'll copy down the amounts, that is 40,000 in addition to the 30,000 stock with addition to 60,000 of machinery. That comes to a total of 1,30,000. So the capital amount will be 1,30,000 rupees plus 0. Why we added this and wrote in the capital part, but this all the things are the price of entrepreneur. The entrepreneur or the owner have started a business with all these items, that is cash 40,000, stock 30,000 and machinery costing rupees 60,000. The entrepreneur or the owner of the business started the business with these transactions. So what will be the first equation? Let us write the first equation. It is 40,000 plus 30,000 plus 60,000 is equal to 1,30,000 plus 0. This is the first accounting equation. That is, started a business with cash, stock and machinery. The first equation is 40,000 plus 30,000 plus 60,000, which comes to a total of 1,30,000 rupees plus 0 because we don't have liability at this point of time in the business. Let us jump down to your second transaction. Goods costing rupees 25,000 but sold at rupees 28,000 on credit. So you see, we were having a goods of rupees 25,000 but we sold it on 28,000. So which brings to a profit of rupees 3,000. Yes or no? Yes. Because we are having a goods which is costing rupees 25,000 but you sold it at 28,000. So simple straight away concept that you get a benefit or profit of rupees 3,000 rupees. So how do we represent this particular transaction in your accounting equation? Let us see the second problem. We write number 2, that is goods cost rupees 25,000 sold at 28,000. 1,000 plus 30,000 plus 60,000 minus 25,000 plus 28,000. Why I have written minus 25,000? But because the goods are worth rupees 25,000. So the goods are going out of the business. So we will subtract that amount and we gained rupees, we sold it at rupees 28,000. So cash is coming inside the business. So there are twofold effect in this transaction, that 25,000 the stock is going out, and second effect is that 28,000 the cash is coming in. So on the liability side, how will represent it? 1,30,000 plus 0 plus 3,000. Why we have written 3,000 over here? Because we are getting a profit of 3,000 rupees. So we have written here 3,000. 0 is not required. Just 1,30,000 plus 30,000 rupees. So we are having a stock of rupees this much. We are having a stock of rupees 30,000. We subtract 30,000. So if we subtract 30,000 minus 25,000, we get the amount of rupees 5,000. So the new equation, that is 40,000 plus the amount 5,000 plus 60,000 plus 28,000. That is the amount coming to rupees 1,35,000. So is equal to 1,33,000. So here also 1,33,000. 1,30,000 plus 3,000. That is coming to a total of 1,33,000. So this is the new equation. New equation is 40,000 plus 5,000. Why it came as 5,000? Because we are having already a stock of rupees 30,000, but we sold away the stock of rupees 25,000. So we subtracted 30,000 from 25,000. And we are having already a credit of rupees 28,000. So we are adding 28,000 over here. And the 60,000 machinery remains as it is. The cash also remains as it is. Because it is a credit transaction, it won't affect the cash part of the business. Next is purchase goods on a credit rupees 35,000. And this is a credit to be received, means it is a debtor. Always remember why we are not recording this 28,000 on the liability side, because it is a debtor. What is a debtor? Means the person who owes to our business. The person who is owing to our business and have promised us to pay in the future course of time. So that is why we are not writing this 28,000 rupees in the part of liability, because we are not owing to others, but other person is owing to us. Coming down to your third transaction, that is purchase goods on credit. Third is purchased goods on credit. Just we'll draw lines so that there is no confusion. Between the equations. So we have the equation like 40,000 plus 5,000 plus 60,000 plus 28,000 plus on credit rupees 35,000 plus 35,000 plus 0 minus 35,000. Sorry, it won't be just minus. So we have 40,000 plus 5,000 plus 60,000 plus 28,000 plus 35,000, that is goods purchased on credit. So coming down to the capital and liability part, we already had the amount is, that is 1,33,000 plus 35,000. That is the credit part. Why we have written this 35,000? Because it is a credit. We are owing to the outside parties, or we are owing to others. We are owing to particular person which we promise to pay in the future course of time. So that's why, because it is took on credit, so no cash transaction will be affected. Remember. So we were having a stock of rupees 5,000 and we brought again a stock of rupees 35,000. So 5,000 plus 35,000, that comes to a total of 40,000 rupees. Right. So we will write here again in the stock part, not 5,000 but 40,000 plus 60,000 plus 28,000. That is 1,68,000 is equal to, we'll write the amount over here, 1,33,000 plus 35,000. That comes to a total of 1,68,000. That is your third equation. Okay. So here we understand that if it is took on credit, the cash will be not be affected. If it is took on cash, then 35,000 will be subtracted from the amount of cash, that is 40,000. Because it is took on credit, so we are not affecting the cash part of the transactions. So we were having a credit, stock of rupees 5,000. We added a stock of rupees 35,000. So we simply added 5,000 with 35,000, which comes to a total of 40,000. So 40,000 cash plus 40,000 stock plus 60,000 machinery plus 28,000, that is credit, that is debtor, debt of rupees 28,000, which comes to a total of rupees 1,68,000 rupees. And here we were having a capital of rupees 1,33,000. How? 1,30,000 plus 3,000 of profit, which is added to the capital amount, and plus 35,000, which is a credit or liability which we have to pay in the future course of time. So 1,33,000 plus 35,000, which comes to a total of rupees 1,68,000 rupees. Now coming to your fourth, depreciation of machinery worth rupees 5,000. This transaction we are talking about. So machinery depreciation, I already discussed the part or the term depreciation with you guys. That is when machinery comes to, there is a usage of machinery for a longer period of time due to wear and tear, due to passage of time, or due to, corrosion, or due to new advancement technology, there is depreciation charged to machineries. That depreciation is deduction in the amount of machinery till it becomes zero. That is till the scrap value of the machinery becomes zero. That is the depreciation part. So we'll write the fourth transaction, that is depreciation rupees 5,000 on machinery. So what we will write here, that is 40,000 plus 40,000 plus 60,000 plus 28,000 minus 5,000. Remember guys, every time when we charge depreciation, we subtract the amount from the value of the machinery, original price of the machinery. So here we are having a original price of 60,000. We subtract the amount of rupees 5,000 from the part of machinery. So here it will come as 1,68,000 minus 5,000. Okay. The machinery amount has also be minus from the capital, because capital is from these three elements, right? Cash, stock plus machinery. So if there is a deduction in the price of machinery, it will affect the capital also. So we deduct rupees 5,000 from the capital amount also. So what will be the new equation? $40,000 as it is plus 40,000 as it is plus 55,000 plus 28,000, which gives a amount of rupees 1,63,000 is equal to 68,000 minus 5,000, which is 1,63,000 rupees. So this is our 4 transactions. So let me erase the above one to discuss the rest. See rupees 11,500 on the full settlement of rupees 12,000. So obviously 11,500 and 12,000, we see a difference of rupees 500 rupees. Right. So how we will perform this transaction? So simply we'll write the 5th transaction, that is cash received rupees 11,500, full settlement rupees 12,000. So we'll write the amount as it is, that is 40,000 plus 40,000 plus 55,000 plus 28,000 plus 11,500 minus 12,000. This will be the equation. Why I added 11,500? Why I subtracted 12,000? Because we are getting a cash received, means we already we were given amount to somebody rupees 12,000, but we got 11,500. So if you are getting a debtor, we have to subtract that amount, and we are receiving money, so we added 11,000 plus 55,000 plus 28,000. That comes to a total of rupees 1,62,500 is equal to 1,62,500. 500 rupees is subtracted from the cash because we gave a discount. We were given an amount of rupees 12,000, but we received 11,500. So 500 rupees is our loss. So it is subtracted from the amount of cash. Okay. Let us come to the 6th transaction. Bad debt return of rupees 2,000. So what is bad debt, guys? Bad debts is the amount which other people outside the business owe to us, and we predict that we are not getting back our money. That is bad debt. The money which is promised us to be paid in a certain duration of time or certain future course of time, which they had promised to pay us, they failed to pay the money. So that amount we put it under a category called as bad debts. So bad debts is nothing but a category where our debtors refuse us to give us money. We bring those category of money under one subcategory, that is called as bad debts. Bad debts is the money which the outsiders promised us to pay when they took credit from us but have not paid that amount. So, and we are not in a position to also, we are not hoping that that money will come back to us. So for that particular amount, we open an account that is called as bad debt. So this is the clear definition of bad debt account. Received cash. So 40,000 plus 11,500. What will be the amount? 51,500 plus 40,000, and 12,000 was the given stock to the others, plus 55,000 machinery as it is, plus we'll subtract 28,000, 12,000. That comes to amount of rupees 16,000. So total is 1,62,500. And here also the total is 1,62,500. Now coming down to a part of sixth transaction, that is bad debt written off rupees 2,000. Now what is a bad debt account? You come newly, you are introduced newly to the term called as bad debt. So what is certainly a bad debt account? Bad debt is nothing but when you come around certain amount of money which is promised to be given to you, means the debtors promise certain amount of money which is given to you and they fail to pay it, or you are not hoping that money will return back to you, then we put that particular amount of money into the bad debt account, that is bad debt written off. So let us perform the sixth transaction. I am erasing the fifth part. Sixth one. I am erasing the sixth one also because I don't have enough space to write down. The sixth one is bad debt written off. Rupees 2,000. So we'll write 51,500 plus 40,000 plus 55,000 plus 16,000 minus 2,000. Okay. So this 2,000, how it will be minus from? It will be subtracted from the part of the stock, because we are having a manufacturing concern, or the business is of buying and taking of goods. We see the transactions and we came to know that the business consisting of buying and taking of goods. So we will subtract this 2,000 rupees from the amount of 16,000, and here also 1,62,500 minus 2,000. It will be subtracted from the capital amount because the stock also belongs to the capital amount. Here we are having a stock of rupees 20,000, that also belongs to the capital amount. So what will be your new equation? $51,500 plus 40,000 plus 55,000 plus 16,000 minus 2,000 plus 14,000, which comes to an amount of rupees 1,61,000. Sorry, 1,61,500. To an amount of rupees 1,60,500. Here also, if we minus 2,000, we come to an amount of rupees 1,62,500 minus 2,000, that is 1,60,500. This is your new equation. Now coming to the seventh one, I erase the half part, that is cash paid rupees 9,500 to creditor and discount received rupees 300 was your transaction. So I am just erasing this both so that I can write it properly. Okay. So we'll write the transaction. Cash paid 9,700 and discount received 300. So we'll write it everything in a serial manner. 51,500 plus 40,000 plus 55,000 plus 14,000 minus 9,700 plus 300. Why we wrote minus 9,700? Because we are paying the cash. So cash is paid. So minus 7,500 plus 300 because we have received a discount which is a benefit to our 1,62,000 minus 2,000 plus 3,000 and we are given 300 as we are given what do you say, a discount, minus 10,000 because the 10,000 is the amount we were owing to others. So what will be the new equation? I am just erasing this one. The new equation will be, if we subtract 9,700 from 51,500, mistake, we will not add 300 rupees of profit here, but we are adding the profit over here. We won't add the profit amount here, but we'll add in the liability part because we are paying to our creditors. So we will write 48,800 plus 40,000 as it is plus 55,000 plus 14,000. And here we'll write 10,000 is subtracted, so 1,52,500. Sorry, 500 minus, we have already minus 2,000 plus 3, 1,50,800. Here also from 1,52,000, if we add 300, we will get an amount of rupees 1,50,800 minus 2,000, we will get an amount of rupees 1,50,800. So I am erasing this part to write your last equation. That is the 8th transaction, that is bad debt recovered rupees 12 will represent the amount 51,500 plus 40,000 plus 55,000 plus 14,000. Sorry, 41,800 was the amount, not 51,000. 41,800 plus 40,000 plus 55,000 plus 14,000 plus 1,200. So if we add 1,200 over here, so we'll get the amount of rupees 43,000 plus 40,000 plus 55,000 plus 14,000. Here also we will add, that is we have 1,50,800 plus 1,200 rupees. Comes to a total of rupees 1,52,000 rupees. If we add 1,200 over here, we have 1,52,000. This is your final equation. So we discussed the 8 different transactions which were having twofold effects. So I guess all of you have understood. If you are having any doubt, you can just WhatsApp me on my number or you can call me anytime possible. Thank you one and all, and we'll continue with the next problem in the next video.